We are back with a
little Norfolk rundown, isn't it? Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, welcome back. We're Tristan Kez. We travel around in this lovely little motor, our 36-year-old camper van, Old Gertie. It's Talbot Express, by the way. We travel with Murphy, who lives mostly up there, and little Frank down there, but you all know that anyway, don't you? So, what are we here for this week, Kez? It's Sunday, time for another session.
It is time for another chit chat. Also, if you want to know what it's like living in a 36-year-old camper van and what is inside here, then make sure you go and check out our van tour that we did last week. We are back with a
little Norfolk rundown, isn't it?
We found an awesome little spot that was £16 a night.
Just next to the River Yar, wasn't it?
But yeah, £16 for non-electric, £22 for electric. It's called the Reedham Ferry Campsite. It's a warden-based campsite, so there's sort of no sort of official check-in type process. It's kind of...
Pull in. There's a big whiteboard, isn't there?
Yeah.
And then you check for your name on the board, and then they will have allocated you a pitch.
You were right next to River Yar, where the pub is, right at the entrance, with this absolutely gorgeous pub garden where you could just sit and watch all of the boats going back and forth. And then even better, there's like a chain ferry. I'm not sure how long that's been running, across the River Yar, taking cars back and forth, which we thought might have been a bit more of a novelty thing. But no, there's...
Yeah, it's like constant use, isn't it?
Constant use going back and forth. You also get the use of the private slipway there included in your £16 a night. So if you've got a small boat, a kayak, a paddleboard, you can get yourself straight onto the Norfolk Broads directly from the campsite. On the actual campsite itself, there is also 2 coarse fishing lakes out the back of the campsite,
very nice,
which
aren't they?
is free to use for anyone who's staying.
What can be found at the Reedham Ferry Campsite?
Well, you are right next to Reedham Village, which is a lovely little walk straight from the campsite. I would say it's about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Lovely little stroll along the edge of the River Yar that takes you into Reedham Village, where there's just a couple of really cute shops, isn't there?
Yeah.
A couple of pubs next to the water, watch the boats go by. Oh, one thing I should say about Norfolk is they are known for their golden sunsets.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably because of how flat everything is there. We got some beautiful sunsets, didn't we? It's everything that you read it's going to be. It really is so beautiful and so peaceful and feels so expansive, so unpopulated. I think that's the vibe we got, wasn't it? It's for a lot of places you visit that can be overrun with people, we tend to like to avoid the crowds because, let's face it, nature is better than people. But yeah, Norfolk, it lived up to its name.
It did.
It did. If you want to have a little drive, one thing we did find, complete transparency, total honesty, Reedham Ferry Campsite did tend to be a little further away from sort of some of the other, I want to say, main attractions. Do be prepared to have a little bit of a drive if you want to go and visit places in Norfolk. Doesn't bother us. An hour's drive to us is pretty much nothing after the distances we've covered this year. But if you followed us for a while, you know we love seal spotting. And we'd read about Horsey Gap, hadn't we?
We've seen it on the internet, we've read about it, we've seen the reels.
Yeah, so we thought, right, that's what we're going to do. So about a 30-minute drive from the campsite is Horsey Gap. And yes, the internet does not lie, people.
Before you jump into that, word of advice is we punched it in, didn't we, into Google Maps. Let's go to Horsey Gap.
Yes.
Pulled up for the car park, absolutely buzzing. And then there's a great big sign.
It's cars only.
Drive yourself back down the road to a Horsey Windpump. It's a National Trust car park. You can either pay to park there, or if you're like the cool kids and you're a National Trust member, you can park there for free.
So there's a very few memberships that we have for Life on the Road, but National Trust is one that we really highly recommend to you guys, even if you're not really interested in going to see the National Trust properties, just for parking alone. If you're a full-time vanner, to be able to pull up in a car park, and they have toilets, facilities, often little cafes. They're just a great little spot to hang for the day.
There was a shower at this one.
There was a shower, wasn't there? So we parked at Horsey Windpump, and as I said, yes, just across the road you'll see a signpost for a public footpath. Follow that all the way, about 20 minutes, through some fields, through some dunes. They've built an actual walkway for you to access the beach through the dunes, so as not to disturb any of the wildlife that live on the dunes. And as we were walking down, we saw one seal bobbing, 2, 3, and we were like, wow.
Yeah, that's enough.
This is golden. We're made up. This is incredible. Little did we know that everything we'd seen on the internet was true, and there's whole colony, as we turned left as we walked onto the beach, about 30 odd seals were just sunbathing, having a little play fight. Some were surfing in on the waves.
Yeah, that's mental,
like,
wasn't
probably
it?
catching the waves, like really being cheeky, weren't they?
Yeah.
Just one even really inquisitive came swimming up and was just staring at Frank. Just,
They thought he was a baby seal.
Yeah.
That's what we thought.
You're so close, but still at a very safe distance from them, so as to not disturb them. It's a tear to the eye moment to be that close to wildlife in its natural habitat. I mean, I don't want to sound too over the top, but it's sort of a bit like an honour. It's very much their beach and you're just there at a distance to spectate. It was truly phenomenal. If you love seals as much as we do and want to see lots of seals basically, then Horsey Gap is only 30 minutes drive from the campsite.
Bucket list worthy for us, isn't it? Definitely.
Yeah, you can't visit the campsite without driving to Horsey Gap.
Yeah, you got to, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's just a no-brainer, isn't it? Absolutely stunning. And then it's like a double day out, because once you walk back to where you've parked in the Horsey Windpump, you can actually, your National Trust, go and view for free the inside of the mill which is there. It's very cool. It's been restored a few times, hasn't it? And as we were climbing up the really steep stairs to the top,
they were sketchy, the stairs.
Really sketchy, and you can hear the cogs as the rotor arms moving to catch the different bits of wind. Truly a fantastic little spot to explore, isn't it?
It's just beautiful as well, because like the Norfolk Broads connect all the way up to the wind pump, doesn't it? If you've got a boat, you can moor up there for a fee, and then you can pop your kayak and paddleboards into the water again, I think for another small fee. But it's just beautiful there, isn't it?
Stunning. It actually used to be an isolated island. Yeah, all of sort of Horsey Gap and that area was completely cut off by water, so there was no roads and there was no access. It is rich in history. Lots of National Trust information, lots of National Trust people on hand to fill you in. The same as when you get to the beach in Horsey Gap, there's all the information about the seals, the different types of seals, different mating times. Informative, breathtaking, beautiful day out.
Yeah.
So yes, Horsey Gap and the Windpump is for you. What else did we do whilst we were there? Blickling Estate is actually a very well-known National Trust destination, should we say, because it is just so beautiful. You've got the house, which you can tour. When we turned up, the whole house was open. That is dependent on how many National Trust volunteers they have on the day. If they don't have enough, then parts of the house are closed, we were told. Not only you can explore this house that is rich in history and just some of the most stunning rooms.
Yeah, it's ornate, the right word.
Yeah.
And it's so well kept, isn't it?
It's
mental.
Absolutely beautiful. And literally in every room we went to, there was a National Trust representative who, some of them do chase you a little bit with their information.
Do you want to know about this room as you're walking through? You're like, no, I'm cool, mate. Just looking.
But if you do want to know a bit more information, they are on hand. But sometimes National Trust information givers want to give you the information even if you don't want it. The grounds are absolutely epic. You've got the walled garden, which you can't take dogs into, which is still to this day beautifully manicured with water features, different types of rose bushes. Absolutely gorgeous. And then the wider park, which is accessed for all members of public, I believe.
We went for a big old walk, didn't we?
We went for a huge walk because there's actually a really cool pyramid mausoleum on the grounds that you can go and visit. The daughter built the mausoleum for her dad and his two wives. So that's quite interesting. And a bit of history about the house was that actually the family that owned it ended up going to the son-in-law, because at the time there was only daughters in the family and daughters weren't allowed to inherit property. That's crazy, isn't it? So it went to one of the daughter's husbands. Beautiful woodlands and a beautiful lake.
Great day out.
Just stunning. That's about an hour's drive, isn't it? There's coffee shops and there's even a pub on next to the car park. Plenty for a full day out at the Blickling Estate.
Well, keeping on that vein, we also went to another National Trust on a different day. Again, a big estate where you can go and walk the wider grounds. So we took Frank for a big walk around the lake. That was beautiful, wasn't it? That's
stunning. Yeah,
lovely.
Absolutely beautiful.
Got back to the house. We were buzzing, weren't we, after Blickling Hall. We were like, yes, mate. This one's going to be good. Yeah. We'll start off with the little wall garden, won't we? Show your tickets. Do we get in the house from here? Oh, sorry. What was it? Thursdays and Fridays?
Yeah, two of the most weirdest choice days to do conservation on the property itself.
House is closed, but you're welcome to walk around what seemingly now has become tiny gardens. But yeah, so word of advice, check the internet, check the website, and check the houses open whenever you're going to a National Trust property, because we just assumed
we did.
It was a Thursday or a Friday, and we were like, of course this is a popular day, and no, that's not correct. So, but look lovely, and I'm sure if you've been in there, you can second that and tell us how lovely it is.
Well, again, but even with the house closed, again, it was one of those National Trust car parks. There was loads of people sat outside their vans and cars having their little picnics, looking at the beautiful views. It was a lovely, gorgeous sunny day.
Yeah, loads of picnickers.
And also, the lovely thing that we love about National Trust walks or walks on National Trust properties is if you do have a slightly anxious dog, they are all dogs on lead walks.
Yeah.
Which I think is fantastic for people who have more anxious dogs.
Little Vanlife motorhome hack is a lot of National Trust car parks are actually really pleasant, and that one we just said about, just loads of vanners were having a little picnic just by their vans. Even if you're not a massive National Trust member, you can get the membership just to kind of use their car parks and hang out in them during the day, because it is obviously no overnighting. We've been to one in Wales where this couple were like out there having a little bit of wine and cheese and whatnot at lunch. So yeah, gangsters. But yeah, just the van life hack.
Yeah, no, they are fantastic places. Just hang and enjoy nature.
2 other places that you should head to, but we didn't, but we will do next time we go, is the Lavender Fields.
Yes.
That was a little bit too far for us to drive, I think. I think it ended up looking like it was an hour and 50 minutes. But the Lavender Fields look incredible. Pick yourself there. And the Barton Broad Boardwalk looks amazing. So it's like a boardwalk around this big lake that just looks incredible. We didn't do that one because you can't take dogs on there, and it was a little bit warm the day that we headed out to kind of go and do that, and we didn't want to leave this little fella in the van for too long in that heat. So if you get yourself there, go and have a look. It looks incredible. Here's some pictures.
But yeah, we just touched on the edge of what Norfolk has to offer, and that was 2 weeks worth for us. We were there. It's just from the location of the campsite and the facilities and what you can access from there, and then what is just a short drive. There was a lovely farm shop we popped into that has its own vegetable picking. A couple were walking out with some gooseberries they just picked for themselves.
Yeah, you go strawberry picking, which we're going to be doing soon.
Yeah, strawberry picking, a lot of different fruit picking there was at that farm. It's stunning.
Yeah.
Stunning. There's so much more to explore.
I'm sure you guys have plenty more places to visit in Norfolk, so pop them down in the comments. And thank you to everyone who made suggestions of where we should go and see things in Norfolk. Special shout out to Lottie, because you were super helpful with your information on Norfolk, and that's why we went to some of the places that we did. So thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for everyone who has bought us a coffee so far. We're blown away. Yeah, so thanks very much for everyone who's bought us a coffee. Really appreciate the support on our channel. We really can't believe it. So yeah.
It really is quite unbelievable that some of you will go out of your way, to buy us a coffee. It's, wow. That the generosity and the kindness in doing that is truly beautiful. So thank you. You're very special people.
And thank you for everyone who supports the channel each week. Just watching our videos, liking, subscribing, dropping us a comment, whatever you're doing. We just really appreciate it. We're so close to 2,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool, isn't it? It seems like it took forever to get to 1,000, but we're so close to 2,000. So yeah, it really wouldn't be without you guys.
You make this channel what it is, quite simply.
Because if you don't watch, we're just putting out videos to the ether, aren't we? But yeah, let us know what you think about this one. Check out our website, tristankez.com, where we've got more information on destinations and van life hacks and tips and tricks and all that malarkey. So yeah, it might be helpful for you guys. Special shout out to our van tails, Andy and Lindsay, for dropping us a little mention in their video last week. They went and checked out the Bude secret campsite for £10 that we did a video on probably about a month ago now. So check out their video on it and see what angle and how much they loved it. So Andy, Lindsay, thank you very much, guys. And the OGs, Life Is Too Short, Ken and Carol gave us a little cheeky shout out as well, because we recommended Ken and Carol to go to Crow Farm Shop in the New Forest and get what we think and they think are the best pork pies in England, possibly the UK, possibly the world. Get yourself down there, try one, let us know. I think they're the best things ever.
I think that's all you need from us this week. We're not going to take up any more of your Sunday. Thank you for giving us the slice of time you have.
Yeah.
We hope you're having a lovely weekend. We hope this has been of some help for your travels to Norfolk.
Yeah. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification and drop us a comment, guys, because we love you. And until next time, folks, bye for now. Hey, Frank thinks you'll love this video. Why not check this one out?